So there's one tool that is massively important on a progress journey that a lot of people don't use. And today I want to talk about that tool, but I also want to talk about how it can help you in ways that you maybe don't even see possible. So watch out if you want to progress a little bit more in your life. So if you want to progress in your life, ultimately, like I always think, if I want to progress in an area, I want to progress in the most effective way possible. So for example, if I'm at point A right here and I want to get to point B over here, what's the way that I get there? So some people, they get there in a way where they're looping all over the place and they eventually get there, but it takes a really long time to get there. Some people never get there. And then some people seem to get there and make progress in the fastest way possible. And in any progress area of your life, ultimately what you want to do is have the biggest impact in the fastest way possible so you can make that progress, make that your new standard, and then move forward into the next part of your progress. And when we think about tools around this, there's lots of tools that are really important for progress. But one area that a lot of people don't put enough attention into is feedback. Feedback is one of the most important tools if you want to grow quickly in your life. And why is it? Well, what feedback does is it helps you see the mistakes that you're currently making and can help you put your attention on how you can problem solve and the strategies and tools that you're going to use to be better at overcoming those problems. For example, with my piano playing, if I'm learning a new piece on my piano and I just learn it for a while and don't do any feedback, I don't progress that quickly. Whereas if I do a practice session and then record myself at the end of it and go, where do I need to improve? Then when I go to my next practice session, I know where I'm going to put my focus, which speeds up that part of the process. Now, I could talk for an hour on feedback and the value of feedback and how you can be better at feedback, how you can be better at taking feedback, and so on and so on. But there's actually just one aspect I want to talk about today. And I want to share a quick story. So the other morning I was coaching one of our runners who's been running with us for probably about 18 months, has achieved some really cool running goals. This person started with our half marathon group and started with our program called Epic, which is this extremely hard half marathon group. And she joined the program and she's been consistently running for about 18 months, has achieved some really awesome running goals in that period. And I was having this conversation to her as it was like literally like 6 a.m, dark, stars in the sky. And I'm riding beside her and I said, how's your running going? She said, Bevan, I just don't feel I'm making any progress. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, I just don't feel I'm getting any faster in my running. Now, as a coach, my job is to help her in this moment. So I said, well, what are the stats saying? If we look at the stats of your running over the last period of time, that could be 3 months, 6 months, a year. What are the stats saying about your running? She goes, well, I don't really know. I was like, well, what do you mean you don't know? She goes, well, I don't really know. I just don't feel I'm getting faster. Now, this is a massive problem in her journey because maybe her stats are saying she is getting faster, but she just doesn't feel she's getting faster. And this is often the case in the fitness journey. One question you get as a fitness professional is, does exercise ever get easier? And in many ways, the answer is no. Like if you start an exercise journey, when you first start, whatever you do seems challenging. And what happens is as you progress, you seek higher levels of challenging. So exercise maybe doesn't get easier, but the level you were in the past would be easier. So if let's say you've gone 4 months in an exercise journey and you're doing new types of challenges, if you were to go back and do the challenge that you did at the first week of this journey, it would seem easier. So while exercise doesn't necessarily feel that you're making progress, if you look at the stats from early on in your journey, you would have made a massive amount of progress. Now, the problem with this runner was she was getting a little bit demotivated because she didn't feel she was making progress in her running goals. And unfortunately, her approach to this was just to base on how she was feeling in today's run. Now, I haven't actually had a chance to talk to this lady since, but in the past when I've had conversations like this, and I've said to these people, go back and have a look at your stats, 99% of the time, these people come up to me later on and say, Bevan, you're not going to believe it, but I look at my stats and I'm running like 1.5 minutes faster than what I used to, a year ago based on my stats. And this is one of the reasons why feedback is really important. Feedback has the ability to help us see where we can grow, but feedback also gives us the ability to help us see that we have progressed. And seeing our progress is a really important thing, because as I think back to my lady the other day, she was feeling a bit demotivated. And sometimes when we feel demotivated, we pull away from the thing that we are doing. We might not turn up to the sessions, or we may pull back on the level of intensity that we need to do to be successful. If she would look at a stat, she might see, jeepers creepers, I'm running 90 seconds a K faster than what I was this time last year, which will make her feel good about herself, which will keep her motivated and keep her progressing on her journey. It would probably also help her trust the process that helped her create the gains that she currently has. So if you want to fast forward your progress, but also if you want to own your success, which will help you keep motivated and keep momentum going in the right direction, you need to have a feedback process. And maybe a thing for you to think about as you're watching this is, in the areas of your life where you're trying to develop and grow yourself, do you have a feedback process? Like with my piano playing, as I'm learning a piece, at the end of the session, I'll record myself. That's my feedback process. The feedback process might be a mentor or a coach to give you feedback along the way. As an athlete, it might be looking at the stats from your watch or your device after the fact. What's your tool? What's your process to checking in on your feedback? How can it help you see your gains? And also, how can it help you design your pathway moving forward? Again, if we go back to the beginning of this video, how do you fast forward your progress from A to B? Well, if you become a legend at feedback, that's one of the best ways to do this. If you enjoy my videos and you're not exercising, or you know somebody in your life who really struggles with exercise, I've got to recommend my new book, I Will Make You Passionate About Exercise. The purpose of this book is to take those who struggle with exercise from where they are to cementing the foundation that creates a lifetime love of exercise. It has all the steps, it has a plan, it has a journey that you go through that safely and wisely guides you to bringing exercise in your life in the most successful way possible. To get the book, go to www.passionaboutexercise.com. It will be the best thing you can do for your health and fitness. Get the book right now and you'll be seeing massive change in your health and fitness in a very short period of time.